And now to the fascinating soap opera surrounding the New York Jets' rotating cast of quarterbacks. After starting third stringer Greg McElroy last week, Jets coach Rex Ryan says he plans to give his original starter Mark Sanchez the nod in the Jets' last game of the season against Buffalo. This Sunday, McElroy has a concussion, did you know? Both times Coach Ryan snubbed the most famous backup quarterback in all of football, that man, Tim Tebow, who gets a lot of attention despite his lack of experience. PR consultant Fraser Seitel joins us. He is the president of the communications firm Emerald Partners, and he's the co-author of the book Rethinking Reputation, How PR Trumps Marketing and Advertising in the New Media World. Fraser, good to see you. Do you really think the Jets went after Timmy Tebow because maybe publicity instead of the fact that he's a good quarterback?
You think, Trace? You remember in March when they announced this, it was the biggest PR story in sports. It could have been either the grandest experiment in NFL history or the greatest blunder in professional sports. It turned out to be the greatest catastrophe in the history of the world. I mean, the owner lost, the coach lost, the offensive coordinator lost, Tebow lost. It was a lose, 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 lose situation. Inconceivable.
Well, admittedly, look, Timmy Tebow doesn't have the skills that Aaron Rodgers has, but you look back at his time in Florida, man, and his time at Denver even, and he's a winner. The kid knows how to win, so his quarterback skills aren't great, but, you know, he's a guy who knows how to get things done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact of the matter is, it's what you said. They tried to seek out publicity for publicity's sake. They said, we'll get the publicity first and then figure out where to fit him in. And not only have they not fit him in, they haven't given him a shot. He's being paid essentially $3 million to sit and watch the games, which, come to think of it, to be forced to watch the Jet games, they probably ought to pay him more.
Yeah, the Jets are lousy. I mean, that goes without saying. They could bring Joe Namath back, and behind that offensive line, Frazier, he'd get killed. Is it your sense that this Tim Tebow experiment is over, that this Sunday, whether he plays or not, is going to be his last game as a Jet?
I suspect that's right, and maybe Coach Ryan's last game, and offensive coordinator Sparano's last game, and quarterback Sanchez's last game, and certainly it's the last game for Tebow. But I'll tell you this, wherever Tim Tebow lands, he's a good kid, he's a religious kid, I guarantee you he will continue to be the starting quarterback on God's fantasy team.
Yeah, and I will disagree with you. I think Mark Sanchez is going to be there for a while because they've got him locked up in that contract. But I think Tim Tebow will go to another team. And if he goes to another team, Frazier, would you tell that team, look, this is a guy who can bring some fannies in seats because he's so popular? Or, you know, you get him because he's a football player, but he really does, sells a lot of jerseys and fills a lot of stadiums.
Absolutely, and he's strong and he can catch and he can throw with the proper offense, which is what they did with him in Denver. The tragedy of the Jets is they never gave this kid a chance.
Well, I think the tragedy of the Jets is probably a self-standing statement there because it's been an awful year for them. But really, Tim Tebow, overall, through all of this, has still got a future, a very bright future, whether he's a success in the football field or not.
I think he does, Trace. And thank goodness we still have the New York Giants here in New York.
Yeah, exactly. Fraser Seitel. Fraser, Happy New Year. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.